Hey everyone, I want to correct a mistake that we have been on how we have been analyzing our t-tests. It's just a small thing. Actually, it matters, but it will probably make this a little bit easier. So what we've been doing to calculate the t-test right here, right, is, equals t-test, okay, that whole command. And then we get this number here, okay? And we were a little puzzled about the number because it was so small when we compared it to our critical values. So if you look down here, here's what we have been doing. We're like, oh, well, there's our number that we just calculated. Here's the critical value, which we get the critical value by looking at our confidence level and our degrees of freedom. Okay, so those two things on this chart over here. So let's say it was 30, because I don't have 35 on here, and it's 0.05, then we would match them up, and that would give us 2.042. And in this case, we saw that our calculated value was smaller than our critical value, and that caused us to accept our null hypothesis. So in theory, that is how you do this. However, when you do this t-test right here, this is actually giving you the p-value. Okay, so it in the computer skips a step where it already it already knows the degrees of freedom, and it just finds your p-value for you. It calculates the p-value. So what we can do with that information, so let me show you where that fits in, okay? So remember, these are p-values, these decimals up here. So if we had 0.00015, that is well beyond our critical or our confidence level. And so we can be very certain here that there is a significant difference between our two groups. Okay, so here we are going to accept HA and reject our null hypothesis, the opposite conclusion of what we came to before. Okay, so cool. I think that's actually a little bit easier. Now, we are not going to change how we do the correlation, okay? So if you look at the correlation p-value chart here with all the critical values, if you check all these out, they're all between 0 and 1. And that's what our correlation values are between. Well, -1 and 1, but we're going to take the absolute value. So this actually, we are doing this the same way that we did before. So back on the left over here, you're going to calculate that correlation value, entering the command equals correl, right? Just like whatever, and then close parentheses. And then you're going to find the degrees of freedom, which for correlation, you take the number of pairs, and that's 15 minus 2 is 13. So we're going to find 13 right here. And this chart is really easy because we only have 2 different columns, but 13 and 0.05. So this is our critical value, 0.514. And then we see that our correlation value is greater than this. So we land, actually, our correlation value is even greater than this critical value. So we land somewhere over here. And that means that there is a significant correlation. Okay, there's a statistically significant correlation between the two. So this, the correlation is still going to be done the same way as before. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Hope that clears up some stuff. Bye.